I welcome you to a Wi-Fi Lunchtime service, your service for revisiting fellowships and inner life mastery. I encourage you to allow yourself to partake fully in every aspect of this service and experience growth with us. Relax, take a few deep breaths, and allow gratitude and thankfulness to rise within you. Follow with me as I go through these declarations. I am not here. Sacred life is here, glorifying itself as me. This thing called life is conscious of itself, through me, and through all units of itself. This life, which is the body of the entire universe, is my mother, and is also the life of me. And this life supports and promotes itself as me. It's one life. It's the awesome, intelligent, animating force. This is the life of the element within which I live. I am spirit, one with the spirit of all life, empowered by life to bring life's supreme purpose into fruition. This life that I live is the life that has come into its own self as me. There is a power beyond me that can handle all things that are beyond me and is working for my highest good now. I cannot afford not to be here on earth. I am here for the power that brought itself here as me and constitutes my being, and for itself, what the universe needs to fulfill is here as me, and for me to accomplish it. What the universe does to itself is what is done to me. It supports itself for its own complete good, and so it does to me and through me. I am the life of life that knows itself, promotes, and fulfills itself. I am grateful for all that comes my way, as God shows me and guides me for every aspect of this perfect life. Everything I do is done to me and has purpose and intention, and all I do will come back to me tenfold. Wi-Fi serves to reveal our divine identity, advocates Christ culture, to equip humanity for the relevant engagement in life and ministry in an atmosphere of unconditional love, trust, faith, and spiritual power. Our mission is to influence the mindset change through the revelation of humanity's oneness with the divine and equip individuals with the truth of who they are, the intent of having us firmly grounded to empower others to be impactful in every sphere of life. Our core values: unconditional love, uplifting spirit, integrity, selflessness, trustworthiness, and tenacious devotion. We believe that all life begins and ends within the true Godhead, and all of humanity is spiritually included in the love and life of the divine. We believe that this inclusive relationship is delivered timelessly, sustained and guaranteed by the nature of the Father who fills all things. We equally believe in the urgency to make mankind aware of the good news of the redemption from an inferior expression of life, the most attractive and abundant life possible. I'll now pass on to Pastor Sam.
Thank you, Jay. Want you right now, wherever you are, sound of my voice, just take a moment to give yourself the benefit of being centered. By your breath, connect with the source of all life, ultimate love, wisdom, power, intelligence. That has made all of what we see and consider as life possible. Father, Mother, God, the embodying presence of all life, we evoke you. And we all together as one we entreat that may the forces within each and every one of us now become adjusted and attentive to your prompting. In a way that keeps us alive, alert, and eternally awakened to the power of your sweet spiritual presence. We declare our lives unity with you. We celebrate the fact that we are renewed daily in the spirit of love, harmony, peace, forgiveness, and abundant joy. Joy unspeakable, which is full of glory. We proclaim that our lives are lifted into this conscious unity with you. These glorious body temples of ours in which you live, we release ourselves for the flow of goodwill. Shine forth through us all, Divine One. Find expression through the aura of each and every one of us, redeeming and consecrating and perfecting all we see, hear, smell, touch, feel, and relate with in this space. And may your holy thoughts consume us. In you truly we live, we move, we have our being. And in us, we find utter satisfaction and fulfillment. We affirm this as our heritage, and so it is. Amen. If you're there, let me hear your amen. Amen. Right. So in the last couple of weeks, in fact, to be exact, in the last 3 weeks, we have been looking at the subject of conscious giving. You'll continue with that. And the intention is to wrap it up next week. The Thanksgiving service. As the custom of this house is, I would just briefly ask if any of us who were here last week do a quick summary of what was shared or what stuck with you for the benefit of those who went. Anyone? Anyone at all? I'm here by myself. I see faces, but no one is talking. Okay. Jay,
Yeah.
are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Quick thoughts from what we shared last week.
Uh,
Okay, so Brother was called Brother Eben has put something in the chat. That I will continue our teaching on conscious giving. Yes, we did. Okay.
you just asked me what it meant.
Come again?
You just asked me what it meant.
No. So I was just after what kind of struck with you in the from the lesson. That's all. Or your summary points. But if you aren't ready, then I'm going to come back. So we have established that was going to never give with the mindset or with the mindset of giving away, because we give to increase our joy. Giving is not a loss, but is an opportunity for us to expand our love, our joy, our peace in others. So all giving we also establish is beneficial. And it must expand some spiritual quality that we are. We also talked about the fact that the consciousness with which we give is very important. And when we accompany our giving with this consciousness of expanding love and joy through another, we are able to give selflessly and abundantly. I also mentioned that our struggle to find anyone who ever claims that they are receiving too much. And we are all positioned to want to have more and have more and have more abundantly. So similarly, we must desire to give and give and give and give more abundantly. Because the liberal soul is fattened and he that waters is by himself also watered. During our intro session, I used the human body as an analogy and said that if your body retains fluids more than necessary, it becomes a threat. There was called term a threat to your life. If you're to always eat, if you're to eat and not excrete fecal matter for a few days, you will need to be seen by a doctor. You will become an emergency. So everything in nature points to the requirement for us to give. Because that's the nature of our Father, who gives liberally without calling anyone a fool, upbraids no one to give. He says in Matthew 5 that in being the children of our Father, whose character it is to give, or causes rain and the sun to shine and fall on both the righteous and the unrighteous. I shared that as well. And when we awaken to this understanding that our giving is to increase joy and love in another human, we are working the magic plan. You are a spiritual field. That's a spiritual energy field, if I want to call it that. And whatever girl we are, we all are, and whatever gets sown in us in that fashion, we reap. I also talked about the fact that we need to avoid believing that anyone is in need, because to see another as needy is to attract the consciousness of need to yourself. All others, all people are an extension of you. With me. There is no need in God. Let me use that. In source that is truly divine, benevolence, absolutely no need. And in our promptings, in our leadings to give, she asks herself a very simple question. In what way is my giving expanding my consciousness? And the giving is of no value if it doesn't benefit both the giver and the recipient. And I went on to give the example of how I have I was speaking with someone who, for want of a better word, says profits from my benevolence, and it dawned on me that even though I'm armed with the understanding of giving in a bid to empower myself and empower them, I'm rather creating dependency out of them. And I've questioned how that is being a blessing to them. Because a conscious giver is one who has awakened to the fact that they are increasing their own well-being and that of the other who has provided the field for them to be a beneficial presence. We also established that it is not just a case or a matter of giving money. Often at times in our circle, the moment giving is mentioned, what comes up first is money. The sun gives abundantly of his energy to all life and never calls for anything back. A study that I was doing a few years ago, I was stunned when I found out that of all the energy we utilize, on this planet, it's not even up to the 1/300th of the energy that the sun releases to hit our space. That is mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. And the sun doesn't call for anything back. You know? The conscious giver is one who is awakened to give in to expand himself or themselves. And that is devoid of any fear. Because he or she understands that there's nothing he or she has that they haven't received. That nothing belongs to them, and they are only a conduit for the issue of substance or blessing. With that understanding, the Apostle Paul will say that let's not then be weary of charity, because in due course we reap. That is not to say that we do charitable deeds with the expectation of a reward or a harvest, because that also makes us slaves to the very act. When you're giving, knowing that your giving is expanding the other, you can give nothing but your very best, and it will always be beneficial. I have been awakened to the truth. Paul said something again, let me quote him. That we've loved you so much that we've not only shared with you the gospel, but our very lives, because you have become dear to us. What does that tell us? We never give what we have. But we give who or what we are. So everything that comes from our hands, every substance that comes from that comes from our hearts, represents the intelligence, represents the love, represents the wisdom, represents the peace and the hope that we are. Or it should be a reflection of the love, the peace, the wisdom, the intelligence, the soundness that we are. And when it's that's done, we can only be enriched by our gift. It adds to us and it adds to the benefit to the beneficiary of our act, of our charity deed as well. So all giving must be done consciously. To bring spiritual, social, psychological, financial, or physiological benefit to the recipient. Thinking about this earlier on, I thought that we can't share this without bringing in what Yeshua said about giving, because that for me is also key, even as we look at this topic. What he says in Matthew chapter 6, before what is popularly called the Lord's Prayer. G, are you able to go there?
Matthew 6.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay. So can you give me verse 1 to 4, please?
Be careful not to practice. Is it that? Be careful not to practice righteousness in front of others, to be seen by them. If you do, you will have no reward from your Father in heaven. So when you give to the needy, do not announce it with trumpets, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and on the streets, to be honored by others. Truly I tell you, they have received their reward in full. But when you give to the needy, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. So your giving may be in secret. Then your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you.
Therefore, when you do your charitable deed, do not sound a trumpet before you, because that is what hypocrites do. Assuredly, I say that they have had their reward. That's deep. I've heard it being said by a few or by a few people, that I feel good when I give. That is why I give. Nothing wrong with that. But what is this passage, or what is this saying from the Master saying? Or teaching us how to detach ego from our giving or from our charitable deeds. It reinforces the ideal that our giving should be to impact the overall evolutionary impulse of the universe. So then the question gets asked, from what place within is your giving or your longing or desire to give arising from? Is it to expand your being? Or is it to just strengthen your ego or feed ego's cry? Do you experience a sense of liberty or a sense of freedom by giving to make you feel good about yourself? Is that your reason for giving? Do you give just because it makes you feel good about yourself? That is the cry of the ego, isn't it? And if that is our motivation, ultimately, it's only a matter of time we will feel the bondage, and then it becomes a burden. It becomes a compulsion. I've said this over the years, that every giving that is done out of compulsion never comes from you, but it comes from the one who is compelling you. It never benefits you. It never profits you. You know, being positioned to do good. In our being positioned to give, in our being positioned to do good, do we see ourselves as doers of good? Or do we see ourselves as people making sacrifices for the benefit of others? Either of these creates suffering and creates bondage. You aren't giving anything that is yours because nothing is yours. I've said this. Nothing is yours. You know the story that Yeshua tells of the man who said, let me lay up goods for myself, and now I can chillax and enjoy of that which my hands has produced. That very night, story goes, he says, "Oh fool, your life is required of your hands tonight. They gain no possession of the land by their own skill and cunning, but thou had a favor unto them. We are only conduit. Nothing we have that we own. Nothing. The conscious giver wouldn't see themselves as a doer of good or making sacrifices for people or making sacrifices to help others. The doer of good sees him or herself as one who is awakened to the truth that they are connected with source and that they are only conduits through which divine benevolence is issued. So there's no compulsion there. In my life, I've grown through the phase where growing up, majority of my life, my adulthood, living along this journey, up until just a couple of years ago, it's something that I'm still growing through. when anyone asks me for anything, whatsoever, whether big or small, and I'm unable to assist, to help, or address it, it has hurt me. But when I awoke into this truth, I freed myself of that burden. It freed me. And the weight of it got lifted. Because giving, when our giving is accompanied with the mindset that we are helping the needy, it can only attract a consciousness of neediness to us. You're only a conduit of divine goodness. And that brought me to the awareness that the greatest service, still in line with not seeing anyone as needy, because there's no neediness in souls. It's we understand, or I've come to understand with this, that the greatest service, the greatest deed I can give is my recognition of the other in the essential being, or the existence, what's it called, the essence of their own existence. My realization of who they are beyond form, Paul says, knowing no man after the flesh. And this positioning has helped deshackle me from this bondage and this burden. It also frees me, or it will free you from the attitude of non-giving, which is just an attitude of fear. Don't say to your neighbor, go, come tomorrow, when it is with you to do good today. Because deep behind the attitude of give, or as we call it, of non-giving, is the fear of lack. If I give to someone and I have need tomorrow, I wouldn't have it. Fear. What if I'm sick and I'm unable to take care of myself when my own need also arises? Fear. And the truth is, when you are guarded by this mindset, eventually you will continue to only attract experiences that you fear upon yourself. Because subconsciously, you will be focusing on what you are trying to avoid, and that is exactly what you're going to get. Fearless giving is to trust in the abundance of life. And this trust focuses on the abundance or the benevolence of life, and it can only bring abundance to you. I said this the other day, To give consciously is to give with intention, to bring about growth, peace, increase, and enhancement of human ability. And that's what true giving is. Giving to yourself in a manner that increases the overflow of your joy, your peace, your hope, your love in others. I cannot overemphasize this point. Conscious giving opens you to receive. I already said that we are not given to receive, but conscious giving opens you to receive. The universe is positioned to do good for its own good. And those who align with that agenda will become natural conduit for blessing and benevolence. It's just as simple as that. No transaction. You give with an expectation of receiving something back. I said that last week, and I've said it again earlier on today. The sun gives out of his energy without expecting anything back and without fear of losing his shine or losing his energy. Because tying an expectation to our giving holds you deeply in fear and bondage. And it will ultimately deprive you from receiving anything. Because you would have narrowed your attention. Often we give, when we are bothered with this mindset, we give and we have an expectation of receiving from a particular source or from a particular person, from a particular situation. And that is bondage. That is limitation. With this vast universe, Father, Mother God can do you kindness from anywhere. Anywhere at all. So let's free ourselves from this focus on lack and cultivate fearless giving. Are you with me? As I said, let's not limit or restrict it to just money. It's about anything you release from you to benefit another with no expectation. Whether it's your time, it's a service, whether it's prayer, whether it's a form of counsel, whether it's some form of love given, even if it's a smile. Whatsoever you do with all your mind and do all to the glory, that men might see your good deed and glorify your Father in heaven, whose nature runs through you. I'll leave it here. Are there any questions? Any questions, any additions? Okay. In the absence of any such, I want us to pray. I love us to pray. I want you to allow yourself to relax. He keeps in perfect peace he whose mind is stayed on him. Relax and allow yourself to feel every sensation in your glorious body temple. What David meant when he said that all that is within me, bless his name. Please then see that the Lord is good. This life which is taking you over, which is holding you now, this peace that is encapsulating your heart, how does it feel like? Allow yourself to feel it. What sound accompanies it? What is the appearance of this life? What is the appearance of this peace? How does it look like? When you hear it, what sound does it evoke? When you touch it, how does it feel to touch and hold it? You are life itself. A unit of life that is here to evolve through service for the promotion of life itself. Your ultimate benevolence. Feel, hear, see, touch. Smell it. And in this space, in this moment, we invoke that from the center of the universe, within the vastness of the soul of each and everyone here, come for the goal of all life, of all wisdom, of all power, of all love, and of all splendor. flourish through the undertakings of each and every one of us. Even as we are awakened to our oneness with you, whose fullness embodies all of our soul. Let your love, let your power, let your presence shine radiantly through all of us, guiding our ways and divine ambition to envelop and evolve the brightness of. Feel this. Our ways are infiltrated with divine influence. And all of the attributes of the divine are finding expression through each and every one of us as we celebrate our union with the all. In union with you as your power works through us. We acknowledge that nothing, and absolutely nothing in this universe opposes the good that we are. And all things are working together for our good and for the fulfillment of the will of the divine. Spirit of the air, fire, waters, the earth and ether, fulfilling each of their divine dictates, mandates, and call concerning us. In the fullness of the Godhood of each and every one of us, we express radiant perfection. Our wills are successfully created and aligned with the will of God. I pronounce my soul in the soul of each and every one under the sound of my voice, taking authority over my life, blessing every condition we go through individually and as a collective, and declaring that they only reveal greater good in our life. And so it is. Amen. Amen. You can unmute yourself and say amen.
Amen.
Stop being shy.
Amen.
Thank you. Shyness is boring. We are in a new month, the month of September. We've entered the Ember months. This week is week of spiritual emphasis. Let's keep our eyes peeled on the platform for details. The various services and practices. And I can guarantee you that you will not recognize the person you become at the end of these. image bearers is just around the corner. I'm only waiting on Papa to give me his availability, and then we'll start circulating. Has anyone got anything to say? You can unmute yourself and speak a blessing into someone's life for this week. But even I haven't heard your voice today. I'm guessing you are in a place where you can't speak, which is also fine. I know if you are able to, you will. Helena, good to see you. Good to hear your voice. Marie, good to see you. Good to hear your voice. Teresa, good to see you. Good to hear your voice. Well done, Jay. Amma, good to see you. Good to hear your voice.
Thanks.
I'm feeling weak with the understanding that your body is a temple of the living God and the Spirit of God dwells in you. This is an exciting privilege. The perfect, infinite power that is within you knows exactly how to take care of your body and make it function perfectly. Walk in this heritage today and forevermore. Amen.
Amen.
Shalom and life to us. Bye-bye.
Bye.